Welcome back to Nathan Bell's podcast. If you like what you're hearing, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Today, Nathan is going to talk to us about Food Not Bombs.
Yeah, well, Food Not Bombs are a great charity who operate in Newcastle. They're a bunch of vegan anarchists, and they give out food to the homeless and the needy down at the park at the train station. I go and eat their food often. It's vegan food. It's quite nice. It tastes good. And these guys do a lot of good action work in the community around protest action, around various issues, left-wing issues. So I think they're a great organisation. And they'll give you clothes, and they have a whole sort of like free shop set up down at the train station where they leave clothing and different things that people need, medical supplies. You can get tampons there, you can get toilet paper, you can get all sorts of stuff, and it's all free. So it's all available in the shelves that they have down there at the train station for people, and there's always people in need using those services that Food Not Bombs provide. And their food's quite tasty. It's nice vegan food. It's very healthy. You know, they're all passionate vegans. So I think they do great work in the community, and I've eaten their food many times, and they've given me a number of items of clothing. They've given me shirts. They're always very generous. They come up and offer me shirts, and they've given me a few pairs of shoes. A few of the pairs of shoes I've gone through recently have come from Food Not Bombs, and they've been shoes that are in good nick when they give them to me, nearly brand new. They gave me a pair of shoes the other day, which was fantastic. So now I already had a pair of shoes, but now I've got a spare pair of shoes. So they're always helping people and helping the needy, and we need more of that in the community, you know. We need more charity. We need more people looking out for those in need. The only thing I would say about Food Not Bombs, which I find a bit funny, is they're run by... They're a part of the Newcastle Anarchist Collective, so they're an anarchist group, and anarchy is the abolition of the state and the abolition of the government, but they call for things like universal housing and universal healthcare, which you can't provide without the state. So I find their philosophy a bit like their philosophy doesn't entirely make sense, because you can't be an anarchist and call for universal housing, because you need the state to provide universal housing. You need the state to provide government housing. So really it doesn't make sense to be an anarchist and call for universal housing and universal healthcare and universal welfare. That doesn't make sense in my mind. So I think their philosophy, their political philosophy, doesn't entirely make sense. But that doesn't matter, because the work that they do in the community is good for the community. There was a point where a group of members in the community were calling to shut down Food Not Bombs' free food stall at the train station, because they said, oh, it's attracting drug addicts and people are leaving needles around and stuff. And there was a huge outcry in the community in support of Food Not Bombs. And initially the council was going to come and move all their stuff on, but it's all been left there, and the council has backed off Food Not Bombs because there was an outcry in the community supporting Food Not Bombs, and I think that's good. You know, I don't like these people who push to shut down charity. We need more charity and more community work in the community. So I get frustrated when people try and shut down charity. I find it offensive. So Food Not Bombs are an awesome organisation. At some stage I'd like to go and do some volunteer work for them. I haven't had the chance yet. I'm a very busy guy. I'm busy 6 days a week. I don't get the chance to volunteer. But if I was going to volunteer for anyone, I'd volunteer for Food Not Bombs, and help them with the work they're doing. A number of the people from Food Not Bombs have bought my book, and I don't know if they've read it. I haven't got any feedback from them yet, but I'm sure they'd like it, because it would be right up their alley. But yeah, make a donation to Food Not Bombs, and go down, if you're in Newcastle, to their free food shop down at Hamilton train station and leave some stuff. They used to have a free bookshop up the other end of Hamilton, but that seems to have moved now, which I think is a shame. I've left a bunch of stuff at the free bookshop before and at the free food shop. So it's a good initiative for the community, and we need more of it. And these are people who are doing this of their own accord. They're making this effort. They're not getting paid to do this. They're doing this because they want to, because they want to help people, and they give their own time to doing this, and their own energy and their own effort to doing this charity work. So they're just the same as any other charity, and they're doing excellent work in the community. As I said, the only thing I would say about Food Not Bombs, personally being a part of an anarchist group, is I think it doesn't quite make sense to be an anarchist, which is about the abolition of the state, and to be calling for universal housing and universal healthcare, because you need the state to provide universal housing and universal healthcare. So I think they need to think through their political angle a bit more, because it doesn't quite make sense, because they're supposed to be anarchists. And as I've explained before, really anarchy is a right-wing philosophy. It's the abolition of the state and small government, which leaves you with the free market, because when you abolish the state, you're left with the unregulated free market, and you're left with free trade unregulated by the state. And these guys are they have more of a communist mentality, and communism requires the state. It requires the organisation of the state and the authority of the state to make communism work. And I don't know if they get that. So I'd like to have a debate with them about anarchy being a right-wing or a left-wing ideology one day. We haven't had a chance to have that debate yet, but I'd like to put my arguments to them that anarchy is the abolition of the state, leaving the unregulated free market, and that they're more of a communist organisation, and they shouldn't call themselves anarchists. They should rename themselves not as an anarchist group, because they're not really anarchists. They're more like communists, which requires the state. So show some support to Food Not Bombs. If you see them out giving out free food, and give them a hand and leave some stuff at their free shop. They're a great organisation doing great charity work in the community. And drop a comment in the comment section about what you think about these sorts of charity organisations, and whether you support groups like Food Not Bombs.